Living in Europe and having a hard time finding Pokemon products? Check Total Cards and use TCG Center code for discount on your purchase. Check video description or visit Total Cards for more. How's it going, Pokefans? Once again, welcome back to Pokemon TCG Center. In today's video, we will be looking at the deck for the upcoming standard format, or if you want to call this post-rotation deck, Golisopod GX featuring Garbodor. So many Japanese players played something similar to this deck list this year on the World Championship, and they actually even managed to top 8. So yeah, I decided to little bit change this deck just for the upcoming standard format. So yeah, I'm running 19 Pokemon Study Training cards and 11 energies. Good thing about Golisopod GX is the fact that you can first impression for 120. So theoretically speaking, you can hit for a one-hit knockout against a Garbodor with a Trash Range. So without playing too many item cards, you have pretty cheap response to the Garbodor in the standard format. Of course, they're going to be weak to the fire, but let's say if you play against Volcanion, well, then we can just simply use our Garbotoxin Garbodor and try to attack with that result clause and trade at least one prize for 2 prize cards, and then later in the game try just to finish the game with Crossing Cut or maybe Trash Range. So there's plenty of different options that you can do with this deck. The main strategy, of course, is to use first impression for a couple of your turns and force your opponent basically to discard some of the item cards, and then in the late game just finish the game with the Trash Lands. Of course, I also decided to tech one Golisopod with the armor and with that Resolute Clause, mainly because it can go for 150 with Grass and DCE or 180 with Choice Band. That's pretty good because in some matches it can trade 1 prize for 2 prizes, as I mentioned it earlier, but also if you decide to use a couple of life flips before that, you can basically even go for the one-hit knockout against Pokemons with more than 180 HP. For a 4-1-3 line of the Wimpod Golisopod and Golisopod GX, 1 Tapu Koko for the free treat and fly flip, 2 Tapu Leles for the setup, and of course 4 Trubbish with the acid spray, 2 Garbotoxin Garbodors and 2 Trash Lands Garbodors. Moving on to the item card list, I decided to go with 1 copy of Escape Rope because in many situations Escape Rope helped me a lot, as well as 1 Field Blower. Escape Rope can always be traded for the second Field Blower if you don't feel comfortable running Escape Rope, but trust me, Escape Rope can be the free Guzma as well. Also running 2 copies of Rescue Stretchers. I decided to go with double Rescue Stretcher without Revitalizer, mainly because in the late game we're going to need more Garbodors than the Golisopods. I'm running also 4 Ultra Balls, and that's pretty much it. As you can see, there's not too many item cards. If we count only those Ultra Balls, Rescue Stretcher, Field Blower, and Escape Rope, that's 8 in total. But of course, I'm running 2 Choice Bands and 4 more Float Stones, so that will go up to the 14 in total. But still, we're probably not going to play till the mid to late game more than 5-6 item cards in my opinion, so we're going to be just perfectly fine against the Trash Lange. So moving on to the supporter list, 3 Acerolas for the scooping that Golisopod back to our hand or any other damaged Pokemon. Also running 3 copies of Guzma, so I can basically switch one of my opponent Pokemons with his or her active Pokemon. Also running 1 copy of Bridget, 9 drop supporters. I decided to go with the 4-3 line of the Sycamore and N, and decided to add 2 Lilies just in case of the late game. It's more better to draw or find Sycamore or Lily instead of the N if our opponent N is down to 1 or 2 cards. 6 tool cards, 2 of them are going to be Choice Bands and 4 Flow Stones, of course, and running 11 energies, 4-4-3 line of the ECE Rainbow, and of course 3 Grass energies. Pretty much very interesting deck list. I should say it's pretty good and also very consistent. I'm also thinking about maybe trying to fit something like Oranguru or maybe Octillery just for that late game and abuse, but so far I didn't try to play with it, but to be honest, something like that might also makes a lot of sense. But since we're running Garbodor with the Garbotoxin and ability abuse, I don't know how that's going to be. Anyways, guys, if you're looking for any of these cards, make sure to check ccgcastle.com with the link in my video description. You can get 5% discount on your first purchase, typing TCG Center 5 code. If you're located in the Europe and you really don't want to order cards from the USA or around the Europe, you can also visit Total Cards. You can also find a link in my video description and get discount on your first purchase or your other purchases with TCG Center code. Everything will be described in my video description, just in case if you're not familiar with that. So let's move to the game test so you can actually see this deck in action. So see you in the game. Alright, so let's take a look at the opening hand. Alright, so not the best, not the worst, that's for sure. There is a Sorola, Sycamore, also Golisopod in my hand available. A couple other cards. And looks like my opponent play exactly the same deck that I play, or maybe not. We shall see. Maybe he's running the CGI deck. Alright, so he started with a Shaman. I'm thinking about something like a Ultra Ball, mainly to try set up Tapu Koko on my bench. There is no need for something like Tapu Lele, of course. Okay, so Forest of Giant Plant, Level Ball for the Rowlet. Okay, so looks like he's gonna play the CGI deck. Double Core's Energy for Sky Return and 1 copy of the M. Alright, so I lost 1 Guzma and a Sorola. Not a big deal. At least I will have that Field Blower available. That's gonna be just for now. Alright, I can definitely see one thing coming, and that's probably Sky Return down to that Tauros GX. Okay, I like that. I like that. No question about it. So, Sky Return, back to Tauros. I see 2 tools in my opponent discard pile. Oh, what a nice top deck that was. I really cannot say nothing against it. So, what about... Yeah, why not? Why not? Let's do that. Let's set the Tapu Lele for that. I guess I can go with Lily, but I will take that M. Another Trubbish, 1 Floatstone, and 1 N might give me the Garbodor, and I might even lock my opponent with the Garbatox in here, or maybe not. Time to retreat and use the Fly Flip, so at least I can spread some damage around the board. So far I don't have Golisopod, but I can at least use my Fly Flip and spread enough damage counters so I can have that 1-hit knockout against Tauros with my Golisopod. So far I'm still short for like 10 because I can go for like 150. And I really don't want to see that Mad Bull coming. That's the reason why I try to avoid this situation. I can also just play a regular Golisopod who can basically use that Resolute Close for like 150, and in that case I can go for 1-hit knockout, but still that's far from that. Alright, so another Dartrix, Trainer's Mail for the Versus Seeker. There's like 2, 4, 5 and that Ultra Ball 6 item cards in my opponent discard pile. I wouldn't be surprised to see Shaman EX for pure setup right now. Okay, so 2 Feeder Arrows and one of my Wimpods will be knocked out. Alright. And a horn attack for 60. Okay, that's it. Let me do something like this. I'm going to try to surprise my opponent here. I guess I can set up Bridget for this turn. Ooh, okay. There is no sign of the Wimpod for me, but it's okay. I'm gonna fly flip once again. And basically next turn I can just one-hit knock on my opponent towers with my Golisopod, which means that after that I can just finish the job hitting hard with my Garbodors, because I already see like 2, 5, 6, 7, 8 item cards. That's already 160 damage counters for my opponent. And that's a plenty of damage counters, to be honest. So, Trainer's Mail. Alright, so double colors energy attached to the bench at the CGI. Of course, if he wants, he can knock me out with the Rage, plus he can still spread 2 feeder arrows somewhere on the bench. I would personally go with feeder arrow down to my Golisopod, but of course, he decided to apply pressure to that Trubbish. Alright, I'm happy to see something like that. Alright. Will there be a knockout with the horn attack? Yes, it will be. So I just lost my Tapu Koko, but it's not a big deal. What I can get as a top deck, just another Rainbow Energy. Alright. Sycamore for 7. Hopefully I can find that Garbodor. Ooh, so far no sign of him. But at least I can grab that Wimpod, I can put him on the bench. Then I can play something like a Ultra Ball for a Sorola and 1 copy of the N. And I can finally grab that Trasholange Garbodor. And right now I can hit my opponent for the 1-hit knockout. So that's very important. That Trasholange can go for like 210, meaning that both, okay, almost both of my opponent, the CGIs, can be 1-hit knocked out. The one with the 40 damage counters should be knocked out. The second one with 20 will not be knocked out, except if my opponent will have one more item card basically in his discard pile. So let's be patient for a little bit and see what's gonna happen. Okay, so if he can find a grass energy and way to somehow disrupt my float stone, then he can go for the 1-hit knockout against my Garbodor. If not, then I'm afraid that I'll be able to basically... Oh, there's a V-Seeker. So, yeah, I will have enough for that knockout. V-Seeker into the another N. Oh, that N was actually good for me. Grass Energy... As long as Garbotoxin is in play, my opponent cannot go for the 1-hit knockout, so Razorleaf for 90 means only one thing. Oh, that he's gonna scoop up. So let's move on to the another game. Alright, so we are back here with the deck testing for Golisopod deck featuring Garbodor. And of course, this is the post-rotation deck. I'm also looking forward to build a non-GX version of this deck. So something built around the budget. Will that be possible? Yes, of course it will be. But it's not going to be the consistent as it should be. That's for sure. So let's take a look at the fresh hand of 7 new cards. Well, this looks a little bit better. That's actually something you would like to see at your opening hand. All right. I think I can play my Tapu Lele right now at my turn 1 for the Bridget. And I think how probably this is the best thing I can do to set up like 2 more Wimpods and 1 more Trubbish on my bench. And after that I'm fully set up. Alright, let's just attach 1 Floatstone because we can. And somehow I'm pretty scared to see maybe... Okay, let's just keep that Tapu Koko for now in the front. Next turn I guess I'm gonna just Ultra Ball for my Acerola and probably top deck card for something like Golisopod, and then I can just play that Choice Band and play Lily for a fresh hand of 6 new cards, which is gonna be gorgeous. And all I'm gonna need, it will be just a single energy card, of course Grass or a Rainbow. So better for me to hit any of these 2 cards. Alright, so 1/1 tag, and I'm wondering, will it be for Bridget as well? And yes, it is. The answer to that question is yes, my opponent decided to take that Bridget. Alright, so let's see what he can grab there. Will there be Tapu Koko and 2 copies of Trubbish? Fair enough. Okay, so my turn. Ooh, top deck is Professor Sycamore. Well, I guess I'm better to go with Sycamore for 7 in this way. One Golisopod, 1 Choice Band, and then 1 Sycamore for fresh hand of 7, and I don't... Ooh, okay, no sign of the grass energy, but at least I can fly flip, so at least that's something. To be honest, in this situation, even that fly flip looks much better because I only have 1 copy of item card in my discard pile, and there's gonna be... It will be definitely hard for my opponent to deal... Oh, Enhance Hammer. Okay, I didn't count that my opponent will play something like Enhance Hammer in his deck, especially not in the Garbodor deck. He can even use Acid Spray as for example. So I'm still hoping for the best, and the best is any type of Rainbow Energy or something like that as a top deck, and Acid Spray for 10. Grass or Rainbow, come on. Oh, Rainbow Energy, nice. Which means only one thing, since I used that Fly Flip, right now I can hit my opponent with first impression for 150, and I can take my price card here times 2. So there's gonna be a DCE and a Rainbow Energy. On the other side, I see 3 item cards in my opponent's discard pile, so I can hit for 60. So I'm gonna need like probably 2 more item cards in his discard pile, so I can basically go for the 100 with my Garbodor. Alright, so what should I do next turn? Escape Rope would be nice. Yep, right now Escape Rope would be nice. Unfortunately, I did mistake, and I accidentally benched 2 Trubbishes instead of 2 Wimpods and 1 Trubbish, because I already had 1 Trubbish. But it's okay. Acerola times 2. Ooh, another Enhance Hammer for my opponent. Those Enhance Hammers are actually very annoying right now, but it's okay. I'm not gonna complain. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna play my N. Oh, Floatstone as a top deck. Let me see. Right now, to play that N or to go with Acerola, maybe to scoop my Golisopod from the front, promote one of my Trubbishes. I think I can even do something like that. Oh, what? I scoop up Tapu Koko? Seriously? Wow, that's a huge mistake. I didn't know that can actually happen. Okay, so how did I manage to scoop up my Tapu Koko? Probably I clicked with my Acerola down to him, so that actually scooped him back to my hand. Alright, so I didn't know that can happen with the left click. Yeah, I lost one turn to play supporter card and I only have one more Acerola left. Still, I'm in a good position. I'm not gonna complain. I see only like 4 or 5 item cards on my opponent's side and another sign of the, oh, this time Guzma. Not bad, actually not bad. That Guzma will be probably for Tapu Lele. Oh, it's for the Trubbish with the Floatstone. And then he can hit me for the knockout with that Ice Spray. Well, that's well played from my opponent's side. Again, I'm gonna need just a single energy card in order to take a prize card against his Garbodor, and hopefully that's gonna happen. Alright, it's time for the M. Grass or... okay, so I have Grass. I also have DCE available, but I'm just gonna go with my Grass energy. I'm in a much better position than my opponent is right now because I can again strike with the first impression. I can hit for 120 and I can easily take extra prize, so I'm down to 3. There's another Floatstone. There's only 2 item cards in my discard pile and my opponent have like 2, 3, 4, 5, which means I can hit for 100 with my Trashu Lanch, or on the other side he can go for only 40. So speaking about 40, there is Ultra Ball, so I can go for 20 extra. Right now 120. Okay, this might be... I wouldn't be surprised to see Tapu Koko for something like N. Maybe even for something like Sycamore so he can find a fresh hand of 7. But why would he do that if he already had Sycamore in his hand? So he decided to take that just Garbodor here. Again, Trash Lunch can go for only 70. And that's not even close. Oh, okay. Espeon and Tapu Lele-GX with the Wonder Tag on the other side. Ooh. All right. Whew, okay, Espeon GX. Espeon EX with that ability to basically miraculous shine all of your opponent Pokemons. You can just de-evolve by 1 stage. Or in translation, you can just force your opponent to de-evolve all of his Pokemons and put the highest evolution stage into his or her hand. Let me see. I can go with my Armor Press, I guess, which will be enough for the knockout. Then I can reduce damage for 20, which is, in my opinion, pretty good trade-off here. I can play N simply because my opponent have huge hand available. And again, I'm gonna use my Crossing Cut, mainly because he might just decide to de-evolve my Pokemon, and I'm not gonna let him do that. So I will just retreat down to my Tapu Koko. Again, If he wants, he can again de-evolve, but at least... Yeah, he decided to de-evolve. Okay, as expected. I was hoping maybe to avoid the evolution stage right now, right here. Rescue Stretcher, of course, for another Tapu Koko, so he can go down to his bench. So what I'm gonna need here is just a Rainbow Energy card. And I can win this matchup if he decides to de-evolve my Golisopod. So I think I actually catch my opponent on the left foot here, basically with that Espeon. So there's a DCE attached, and he can definitely de-evolve also my Garbodor and my Golisopod. Of course, Golisopod should be knocked out because it's 70 HP, but Garbodor... Speaking about Trubbish, he will not be knocked out, so it's my turn. He took one prize. I top deck N. Again, I will put my Garbodor in play. More than that, I will also play my Ultra Ball. Just to see what else we have here. I'm thinking about taking that Wimpod, just in case if I miss that Rainbow Energy for the win. So playing Sycamore for 7, no sign of the Rainbow Energy. Ooh, okay. How many item cards do we have? 3 item cards and choice band. There's like 4 item cards in my discard pile. Okay, I'm gonna pass. Next turn is... next turn I can go with the first impression. I have Guzma available. Most importantly, I'm gonna need still a Rainbow Energy as a top deck. Or for example... even double CORSAIR Energy will be enough. Because I'm running second Golisopod, who is not GX and who can strike for 151 of my opponent EX or GX Pokemons in play. And he played another Sycamore for 7. So there is more than enough item cards in his discard pile for my Garbodor to take the knockout against that Espeon. Probably he's just gonna try to knock me out with one of his Garbodors on the bench. I would personally do that right now. If you decide to keep your Espeon in the front, that's the GG. You lost the game, so it's not worth. But on the other side, if I manage to top deck Ultra Ball, yeah, pretty much that's it. The game is over for my opponent. Oh, seriously. So he decided to use Psy-Shock and basically hit for like 70 with his Espeon. However, I managed to top deck Ultra Ball. Which means only one thing. I can grab myself a Golisopod, which means I can hit for like 150, but still, I'm gonna need Choice Band. And without Choice Band, I will not have enough for the knockout. I really want to finish this in a style, and yes, I managed to top deck Choice Band. I basically take the huge risk here. I shouldn't do that. I should just play Sycamore for 7, finding myself Rainbow Energy and ending the game with the Garbodor, but decided to finish the game with just a non-GX Golisopod for 180. So that's the GG. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Make sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more videos. If you have any questions, make sure to leave comments below. So stay tuned for more videos. Till the next time, have a nice day and goodbye.